The days of having 1.5%, 2%, maybe even 3%, I think those days are kind of gone. And I do think that if we do kind of get back into that territory, I think it's going to be scary. I think that we might say, oh, wow, look, interest rates are low and it's so great and whatever else like that. But I think that if we do kind of get into that level, it's not going to be good news for us in the long run.
Live behind decisions I chose. Peaks feel good and the valleys get low. Chains for the tires in the rain, hail, snow. It's like this everywhere that I go, everywhere that I go.
Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. In this video, I want to give you guys my opinion, my thoughts about where we're going to be heading in 2023. As you guys all know, 2022 was a bit of a ride. We started off very strong, multiple offers, low inventory, and then of course, interest rate increases started going up, inventory started going up, and definitely our sales did slow down. So we had a huge change last year in the market, and we're still kind of feeling the effects of all of that going on right now. Now, going into 2023, we are just kind of mid-January. January 25th is going to be the first interest rate announcement. My gut feel tells me that we're probably going to be at least that 0.25% increase. Beyond that, I don't know. I feel like we may have reached a point where we're kind of getting a little bit more stable with rates and they're not going to continue to increase them. It's just my thoughts. And obviously, this is going to be a lot based on where the inflation number goes. We've seen the inflation number come down. If you guys have watched some of my other videos come out, we've basically, my idea is that since we had like 7 increases, 4 points in total last year, I think that maybe, we started to see some of the short-term effects of this interest rate increase, but we actually haven't seen the long-term effects of what it is. So I'm really hoping that after January, we kind of give it a little bit of a break to see where this long-term effect is going to go. And I really wouldn't, like I said in my previous video, I don't want to see this thing overcorrect too much either. So my thought is that we're pretty much going to hopefully see 1 increase, maybe 2. It's not going to be a big increase. And I think we're going to start to see some kind of a settlement in the market. One of the cool things is that I still continue to check inventory just about every single day. And I'm not really seeing the inventory spike too much. That being said, it's middle of January. So what typically ends up happening is that, kind of getting into December, mid-December, we really stop to see new listings come on the market. So we really don't see too much more of that. And what we see is that all the listings that are in the market in December kind of get chewed down before January 1st. Just a quick little example. I don't know the exact numbers, but when we kind of hit December 1st, we were somewhere around 12,500 listings available for sale. January, we're basically at 8,500. So we dropped by 4,000. Basically around 1,000 of those was December 31st to January 1st. My guess is that those were expired listings that just kind of came off of the market. But in any case, we basically saw in a month, the listings dropped down by 4,000. So we basically started off around 8,500 listings available for sale in Toronto Real Estate Board. Even given that we're kind of 2 weeks into this, we've seen the inventory come up about 1,000 listings. And this is where we're going to kind of see in the next 30 days, in my opinion, of where we're going to see the market go. It's all going to depend on how many more listings kind of come up into the market. If we start to see the market get flooded with inventory, then my guess is that can we see a further price reduction? It could be possible. Do I think it's going to be a massive one? I don't think so. Could be wrong. It was wrong before, last year especially. But I think that we're pretty much going to see more of a stable market go on. In terms of where interest rates are going, I really want to have Vern here to kind of discuss some of that stuff with us. Vern from iConnect Mortgages. We're going to try to catch him next month on the next one, and he probably will have a better idea himself of where he thinks things are going. But I think that what we will probably see is we'll probably see 1 or 2 small increases happen early this year, and then I think that we'll probably see it run the same way. And I think that in that time, we hopefully will see the inflation numbers report to come down, and I think that we'll probably see the interest rates start to come down at the end of the year or at the beginning of 2024. Again, it's just my estimate. No one has a crystal ball here. I think in that time frame, what's going to happen is we'll probably have more or less a normal market. I think personally, looking at it from an agent perspective, I think sellers will feel like they could have got a little bit more for the property. And I think buyers will feel that they could have got a little bit more value for their money. But I think that's just in a transition market where everyone's kind of getting used to what's actually going to happen. Again, with interest rates, I think we are going to stabilize. My guess is that we're probably going to land somewhere around 4%. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think that's where we're going to land. I mean, granted, when I was 21, 2004, interest rate, my first mortgage was 5%. I bought another property when I was 27 in 2007 or 24 in 2007, and that interest was 5.4%. So I think that if we land somewhere around that 4%, it's going to be normal. And guess guess what? The market is just going to have to get adjusted to that. That's what it's going to kind of be, in my opinion. The days of having 1.5%, 2%, maybe even 3%, I think those days are kind of gone. And I do think that if we do kind of get back into that territory, I think it's going to be scary. I think that we might say, oh, wow, look, interest rates are low and it's so great and whatever else like that. But I think that if we do kind of get into that level, it's not going to be good news for us in the long run. So also, we deal with two different kind of categories. Obviously, we deal with buyers and sellers. I think moving forward for this year in 2023, I think if you're a buyer looking to kind of get into the market, I honestly think, and this is not a salesy pitch, okay? If you know me, and I know our comments go nuts, oh, you're just a sales guy trying to make a commission. That's fine if that's what you believe. But people that know me know that's not the truth. But people can believe whatever they want to believe. I actually think it is a good time to get into the market. If you are a first-time home buyer, wait a few months if you think the prices are going to go down. I don't think you're going to lose out by waiting a few more months or anything else like that. I don't think prices are going to go sky high in that amount of time. If you want to wait it out a little bit. But I think it's going to be a good opportunity for first-time home buyers to get into the market. Yeah, you're going to be buying at a little bit of a higher interest rate. But guess what, guys? I don't think you're going to settle much further than where we are at right now. Maybe a 2-point difference. Yes, it makes a difference. But I'd say before you get to that 2-point decrease of what I think is going to happen, prices will start to probably come up if that decrease happens. So I would say, hey, secure it maybe at a lower price a little bit and then refinance at a later time, or maybe stick to a variable rate. I know I'm going to get a lot of trouble from saying stick to a variable rate, and that's fine. It's just my opinion. Or stick to a fixed rate of 1 year or 2 years, just so you know your payments are steady. And I think that the rates will come down at a certain point that you could take advantage of it. Is it going to be dramatic? No. But I think it's a really good idea if you are a first-time home buyer to try to get yourself into the market right now, or in the near future. If you're a seller, and if you could be a seller for a number of reasons. So if you're a seller that is basically looking to sell and upgrade, again, I think this is opportunity knocking, okay? I think that prices have kind of become stable. You won't be in a rush and a panic to say, I got to get into a house. I got to make no conditions. I got to go buy something first right now and then turn around and sell mine. It's going to be a little bit more relaxed with the way that we're going to be doing things this year for people that are looking to upgrade. And my advice to most people is that if you have a current house that you're going to sell and you're going to be buying an upgrade house or another house, my suggestion to most people is let's go out, let's look at some houses, let's see 5-10 houses. And out of that, you're going to be willing to buy like 4 or 8 of those houses. Then I'd say, hey, let's put your property on the market first. Make sure we know what we're going to be able to get for it. And then let's move forward with the purchase. Or when we're getting close to selling yours, let's move forward with the purchase. But if we go out and we look at 5 or 10 houses and you only like 1 or 2 of these houses, then I'd say, hey, maybe the best idea for you is to buy something. But no, on the flip side, when we go to sell your place, we might have to compromise on the price that you're going to get. It just depends on what you're comfortable with and what you're looking for and how much inventory is out there for what you're kind of looking for. The other thing I got to tell sellers is this, and I hope you don't end up in this situation, but guess what? There are going to be some sellers that have got themselves into a little bit of trouble, okay? If you arranged a mortgage for 1.25%, 1.5%, a short-term mortgage, or that mortgage is coming up and you got to go back and qualify at 5.5%, maybe you're not going to be able to qualify for that. And that's something, guys, I would encourage you to start looking at right now. Or if you're at the point of where you're saying, hey, my mortgage payment's gone up $700, $2,000, something else like that, and you can't last for a long period of time, my suggestion to you guys is that start looking at these things early on, so you're not pressured into a situation where you have a gun to your head and you have to make a decision, and maybe you got more to lose at that point. So be smart about what your financials are, guys. If you think that this is going to go away, your payment's gone up $700, $2,000, and it's going to go away in 6 months, everything's going to be okay, I'm telling you, it's not going to be. So if you're just holding on for 6 months, hey, maybe there's a different conversation to be had over here. My suggestion to you guys is, and it's hard for depending on what your situation is, maybe the idea is to relook at everything. Maybe you want to sell this property and maybe buy something while you still can before you go too far down the hole, and maybe buy something else that is a little bit more stable for you so you can continue to remain in the market, and then maybe hopefully in a couple of years go back to where you were at. But there's so many different things that we could do here. My best advice for everyone here is to be very prepared and be organized with what you're going to do. So if you're a first-time home buyer, I think it's great for you to try to get into the market. Wait a little while if you want to until March, April, May, June. I don't think the prices are going to skyrocket and you're going to miss out. So take your time, but start considering these things right now. And at the same time, if you're a seller looking to upgrade, I think it's great, but we got to do this thing strategically. And if you become a seller that needs to sell out of pressure, start thinking about that right now, okay? Because you don't want to have a gun to your head, like I said. I think this is really things that you need to consider to move forward smartly in the 2023 market. So I'm really hoping for a stable market. I think we're probably going to do somewhere around 75 to 85,000 sales throughout the Toronto Real Estate Board. So I don't think it's going to be an explosive year, but I'm really hoping that it's going to be a more stable year. Love to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. This is just my thoughts. Everyone has a different opinion, and I really want to hear what you guys think and what you guys are looking at the data to come up with your opinion. Please share it with me. Send me a DM, leave me a comment. Better yet, if you want to join me on one of these podcasts, I'd be more than happy to have some people join us, okay? Until next time, guys, remember one thing: get Kabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.